next. I want to save one for. Actually, no. Let's go into this right now. Browns at Patriots. The Patriots win 32-12. Guess what? Myles Garrett had 5 sacks in this game.
5 sacks.
And they lost. How do you lose? You're giving up 5 sacks. Well, Drake May, I'm not going to lie. Joey's onto something with this guy because I think we all know who he is, but he made a lot of explosive plays happen, whether it's scrambling or hitting some deep balls. Really impressive throws, honestly. Making this offense go. And obviously the Patriots defense holding down the Browns had a big thing to do with it. I mean, the Browns, they couldn't get things going pretty much throughout this entire game. I mean, Harold Fannin played pretty well, but Dylan Gabriel is just a guy that isn't really going to provide you a ceiling. This game was 9-7 going into halftime, and the Patriots scored 21 points in the third quarter. So that kind of tells you how this game script went. And looks like the Patriots they just keep rolling, and the Browns, this is just pretty much at least what I kind of expected from them, was nothing much against this Patriots defense. But man, Will Campbell, welcome to the NFL. I'm sure he gave up 2 or 3 of those sacks versus Myles Garrett.
So the real question to me is, right, does that mean right there at that point you're just like, let's just see what Shedeur got?
For the Browns?
Or are you going to sit?
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think this Browns offense is like so poorly equipped outside of offensive line issues that that you have to have a guy like Gabriel in there. Like Gabriel's like a solid guy. Like he'll be a backup in the league for a long time at the very least. But Shedeur, I feel like actually has like a passing ceiling. Like he doesn't have the strongest arm, but it's definitely stronger than Gabriel's. He could probably make some better throws over the middle of the field. It just seems like the Cleveland Browns drafted him quite literally to just waste his career. And like, I'm not the biggest like Shedeur fan or anything, but I feel kind of bad that he's not gotten an opportunity yet. It's like, all right, what are we waiting for here?
I agree.
I think this is when you get, because if you drafted him, right, you have to start him at some point this year, or else people are going to want to know what he looks like next year, and you might have a new quarterback. So the last thing you wanted was Shedeur as a backup, and this is what you're going to get, because of the way you drafted him. So, I mean, it's just a really odd situation. The Shedeur Sanders conspiracy is like one of the biggest in the NFL. What the hell is going on with him? But I'm ready. Go ahead.
The one thing I do like is Cam Newton's point of view, which really made me interested about how, because apparently it was the 2 teams that were interested, the Ravens and the Eagles and the Browns. Those are the 3 teams that were interested. And it's, I know, because of the fact that the Eagles didn't have really a backup at the time. We had Tanner McKee, but there was always the question around, like, people don't got film on him kind of thing. He didn't want to start behind Lamar, and then he didn't want to start behind Hurts. So it's like Cam Newton's point of view of like, I have like that, having that respect for Lamar and Hurts as starters, that he'd rather go to a place that does not have a defined quarterback to make his own kind of legacy. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, that was like the first time ever hearing that point of view. I kind of sat there like, I gained, I guess, a little bit more respect for Shedeur being like, I want to start on a like really bad team. Like, for example, before
he wants to make it his team.
You know what I'm saying? He wants to make it his team. Before he went to Colorado, did we ever in our lives see Colorado on TV like that, or decide to watch Colorado?
Definitely not.
No, not at all. But guess what? He made it his team. And that's where it's like having that same narrative, doing it in college and then going to the NFL. It's like, you got to have respect for him. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, he gained about like 6 points with me when Cam Newton kind of shared that perspective. Because come on now.
Can I ask you? So like I totally get, like, if you're someone who's trying to be a starting quarterback and you don't want to play on the Ravens, I get that. Like, that makes sense, Nobody wants to be behind Lamar Jackson. No one wants to be behind Jalen Hurts on an Eagles team that just wins with him, and is not going to want to move away from him. So I think that's fair. But at the same time, I think there's 2 ways. I think there's many motivations he may have had for wanting that, right? Because there's like, does he really want to like revive the Cleveland Browns, or did he just not want to be a backup? You know what I mean? Like,
true.
It's like, because if you could have, you would have had an opportunity to play on the Ravens right now if you were the Ravens backup, and you would have been on a good team, and you would have had less excuses around you, and a lot more good to help you win on a prosperous franchise. Same thing with the Eagles. If Jalen Hurts went down with an injury, he would have a great chance to. Yeah, I think you guys would be able to leave him in there personally with how good your offense is. Like, I think he would have been fine, and I think he would have played pretty well, and teams would have been interested. But now you've got this circus on the Browns, and when it comes to Cam Newton, I think he's speculating a lot when it comes to assuming what Shedeur wanted and what he may have said in those draft interviews. I mean, you saw the thing with him being like the mime when they asked him why they made Dylan Gabriel the starter. I mean, it was hilarious, but like you just can't do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? No, like you just can't. Yeah. It just makes you look like childish. So like, if you're gonna speculate, I just wouldn't say with such certainty that we know that. In his heart of hearts, he wanted to revive the Cleveland Browns. Like, no.
No. I get where you're coming from with that aspect, because Cam did get me with the concept of, like, he wants to have, like, the opportunity. Like, not all opportunities are good opportunities. It's one of those things where it's like, for example, a Carson Wentz story. Dude has an MVP caliber season. He starts cooking. Then you get hurt, and your backup wins the Super Bowl. Listen, you've brought it up to me for how many years now? You know what I'm saying? And look at where Wentz is. He's hurting.
He's hurting
and I
mentally.
Guess, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where now Shedeur's got in that similar situation, and he's trying to be like the guy, like where Cam Ward is. CJ Stroud made his team. What's it called? T-Law got his team. This might be just Daniel Jones's team now. Like Anthony Richardson might get sent to the Steelers or whatever. But also to me, it's like, there's other teams that I know need that guy right now. And one of those teams are like the Jets. And I can't lie to you.
I thought the Steelers would take him.
The Steelers could take him too. Rodgers is going to be there. And it's not like that was his team. Dude just was like, I just feel like playing another year. Mm-hmm. You said it's like, now they have Will Howard. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's like you have teams like the Jets. Also, that, in my opinion, I feel like the Jets with Shedeur, that would be kind of fire. Like, I was kind of for that.
Fields was good today.
Fields was good today. I can't hate you be Cincy like that, you know what I mean? Like, and that was a high scoring game.
It was. Fields played well on the run game, with him. Kind of helping out Breece Hall and with the numbers advantage has been a good. But it's just, we know that Fields has issues of his own. With Shedeur, it's just I agree on the same level that I don't feel like the Browns are necessarily handling it right either. The whole way they went about it was really shady and strange as well. So we're just gonna have to keep our fingers crossed. And I mean, Garrett was pissed off. Myles Garrett was really pissed off at the end of this game. Maybe the locker room does want to see Shedeur at this point because Dylan Gabriel, like, he's okay, but like I think we know he's not gonna be great on this team. I think like he can be good. It's just not on this team. If he was on the Colts, I think he'd be pretty good.